задача.
А можно сейчас спросить, все равно ждем.
Я пыталась найти какую-то функцию, чтобы она как бы создавала копию переменной и приравнять ее к другой новой переменной, просто чтобы, не изменять вот эту вот первоначальную переменную. И я нашла метод копии, но почему-то он у меня не работает. То есть все равно меняется вот это вот изначальное.
Да. Сейчас. Есть такая проблема в питоне. Она не раз и не два. У меня еще через пару я закончу. Вот, она не раз и не два сталкивается. Значит, тогда для всех оставшихся я просто покажу, что мы обсуждаем. Так. Ну вот, допустим, где-то здесь сделаем одну еще ячейку, да, то есть вы говорите следующее, что вот у вас есть переменная а, в ней там что-то типа 1, 2, 3. Я правильно понимаю, что это просто число какое-нибудь или что?
Ну, вообще у меня там список списков.
Просто чтобы было одно
Да.
и то же, да? Вот, и идея такая, что если мы сделаем b равно a, и сделаем, например, b append что-нибудь типа такого, не знаю, 1, 1, 1, то print b нас, точнее print a нас неприятно удивит, да, то есть мы a-то не изменяли, вот, а вообще говоря, когда мы сделали p append, оно, в общем, изменилось. Здесь вопрос заключается в следующем, что есть такой, по идее, метод копии, да, вот, по идее, он должен работать. По-моему, есть еще какой-то,
Я
да.
еще находила через эти срезы, просто как бы
вы имеете в виду вот так.
одно, да. Ну, либо просто вообще одно.
Ну да, либо одно. Можно так делать, да.
Так сработало.
Да, со
А у
срезами.
меня почему-то не работало и со срезами, то есть он со срезом тоже вот изменял.
А какой вопрос в версии Питона? Вдруг там чего-то происходит? Посмотрите, пожалуйста, у себя. Делайте такую штуку. Запись есть, поэтому потом сделайте вот такую штуку. Sysversion. Вот. Попробуйте посмотреть. Но у вас, по идее, не должно быть старше 3.8.5 питончика. Ну, может, там... Но 3.9 вряд ли. Может, они там чуть не мудрили. Не знаю. Есть... сейчас, что-то такое... Сейчас, Deep Copy, по-моему. Но это, по-моему, к пандасу относится. Сейчас Deep Copy. Вот. Вот такая штука еще есть. Значит, по идее, все ровно то же самое, только оно вообще все копирует. У листа нет этого атрибута, у кого же он есть? Он, по-моему, есть у вот такой штуки. По-моему, вот у дикта есть. Это будет не append, а что-нибудь типа b из единицы. Дикта тоже нету. Сейчас будем смотреть. Lib copy. Так, сейчас, прошу прощения. Сейчас откатим все назад. Это называется «Читайте инструкцию помедленнее». Импорт копия, вот такая штука. И вот здесь нужно копить. Вот так.
Можно еще раз, вот нам зачем, что мы сейчас сделали?
Мы делали следующую штуку. Вот, допустим, у вас есть список, вот просто список, да? и вы хотите сделать копию этого списка. Питон — это отдельная история, он очень плохо делает копии. Вот у него это просто какая-то больная история.
Да,
Он очень,
вот именно...
очень часто переносит. Поэтому, смотрите, вот когда мы, вот по логике программы, что мы делаем? У нас есть список списков, да, то есть это список из одного элемента, в нем еще один список. Мы, по идее, создаем переменную b, которая такая же, как переменная a, то есть, по идее, здесь тоже должен быть список списков. Но он создает не саму переменную, а создает ссылку на переменную a. И когда вы меняете b, меняется a. Если мы сейчас запустим, видите, да? Мы с a ничего не делали. Но здесь вот вдруг добавился еще один элемент. И это плохо, да, то есть вот каким-то образом нужно с этим работать. Вот первый вариант — это вот этот, то есть сделать срез полностью, целиком и полностью, но, как ваш коллега сказал, что это не работает. Возможно, у вас там был какой-нибудь дикт или еще что-нибудь такое, не знаю. По идее должно работать. Вот срез, вот просто метод копи, вот точка копи, вот такая штука, вторая история. И чтобы уж совсем было наверняка, это вот есть библиотека копи, специальную библиотеку для этого написали. И в ней есть такая штука, называется deep copy, да, потому что она там, когда вложены у нее структуры, ей тоже плохо становится. Вот, соответственно, вот такая штука. Вот эта штука, по-моему, работает уже, ну, во всех случаях. Да? Только если у вас там какой-нибудь совсем не кастомный объект. Вот.
Ладно, спасибо, я попробую. А тогда, если у меня вопрос останется, то это по хэштегу конкретного семинара спросить?
Да, лучше по конкретному семинару, либо если по копи, deep copy, я думаю, что там коллеги спасуют, можете написать напрямую мне.
Хорошо, спасибо.
Вот. Минутка интересных историй про Питон у нас потихонечку завершена. Так, нас по-прежнему мало. Нас по-прежнему мало. Так. А где все коллеги что-то собираются? Ну, вроде нет. Кто-то есть. Ладно. I should switch to English because we have a couple of students in English only, so we should use the English language as our main language of this class. So for this time, I would like to ask you a first question. Do you look through all the week? Do you know anything about functions and so on? So who does look through the materials?
A little bit.
A little bit. So okay, something like 5 or 4 persons per group. No, it's not so impressive, but the previous group says that they do not look nobody looks through the materials. Okay, so then we will go through the functions. What about the functions? What does it mean? Why do we need to use the functions? So functions is a way to organize your code, and you can create the code much more simpler, and you can routine functions, so routine lines of code that you copy and paste from one part of a code to another is a way to you to stop and think, and maybe you should use the functions, and you should reorganize your code. Okay, so the first cell is just the rename of the function print. So I create the empty function that called func. It's the name of the function, and I will pass one argument called arg, and everything that I pass here I can print to the screen. So if I start this cell, I will see just the print this. So this is the way how to create the simple function. So during this function, we have the variable arg, and inside this variable will be print this string. So this string will be put to the variable arg, and during the function, during this line of code, the variable arg will contains the print of this. So as you know, we can pass to function print not only one element, but 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever, how many arguments I can pass to the function print. So here the idea is that I can create the arg2, then arg3, and so on and so on and so on, but I should manually print here a lot of arguments, and if I do not need this argument right here, I must fill it, because if I not fill the arg2 and arg3, the function will fail. So here it is stated that I need to pass 2 additional argument strings. So I do not want to do like this. So I would like to use the special syntaxes. I can create the function, and before the argument name, I can put the asterisk sign. So that's why I will get this will be not just the variable, but this will be a list, and all variables that I pass to this function will be packed into this list. So right here I will have the function called avg with 2 arguments, 1 and 2, and these arguments will be packed into the list, and this list will be called values. So okay, so if I'll start this line of code, what should I get? Colleagues? So values will be what type of variable?
The list.
The list.
So it will be none, maybe.
Why? we will have a list with 1 and 2 as its arguments. Here we have n equals to 0, s equals to 0, that's okay. For I in values, I will be 1, then 2. So if type, yes, it's just the function average. Okay, so 1.5, then 2, then 3.5, then 2.5, then 3, that's okay. But what will be here? If I will pass the empty list, empty arguments.
None.
None. That's true. Because we do not have any integer or float numbers passed to the list values.
So
Okay.
Can you please explain the asterisk between before argument? What it do?
This shows that any argument that will be passed to this function will be packed to the list. So this is the process of packing to this variable.
So it's something like join? No, split.
Not the split, because they are initially splitted. So they just, it's just like it's just the instruction, take all the arguments and pass it to the list. So if you have the list function, so it's all the same. If you have, for example, def arg values, something like this. As you can see, it's all the same, but here I will pass not 1 and 2, but the list 1 and 2. Should be at most got to least expected at most 1 argument got to. Okay. But it's okay. So if you create the list, just the list, then you can use this without asterisk. But if you do not want to put here additional brackets, you may set here the asterisk sign, and these brackets will be put it into your code. So it's just for you how to do. It's not the rule you need to do. So okay, the next idea is that we have the function print, and if you remember, we have the text and we can pass the additional argument as end. So this we would like to do like this. So we can pass the additional argument. Here is the 3 new line signs. So new line, new line, new line. And here we can see the 3 new lines characters. Characters, it's the fictional characters. Okay, symbols. So if you would like to create the same idea, so you can create and put not 1 asterisk sign, but 2 asterisk signs. And all the rest you can create any pairs of the key and the value, and it will be packed to the dictionary. So here params is just the dictionary. Dictionary with here we have no items, so it will be just the empty dictionary. Here will be just the twice equals to true, then quiet equals to true, and here will be the twice equals to true and quiet equals to true. So you have the you have this this idea. So if I'll start this code, what will I get? I will take just print out text. Okay, params get quiet. Is it true or false?
We don't have parameters, that's why I think nothing will be in this dictionary.
Yes, that's true, but if we take the empty dictionary and I create the empty dictionary, then I use the get method, then I get something la la la, and then pass the false. What should I get right now? Colleagues, dictionaries, methods of dictionaries.
It should be implemented if I'm not.
Maybe what?
Maybe the la 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 is the key and the false will be the value. No?
Yes, the false is the default value. So if this la 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 is not found in dictionary, then we take the second argument. So this will be the false. So here we do not pass anything. So false equals to true. Is it true?
No.
No, then skip this line. Here, is it true?
It seems the same.
Yes. So we will skip these lines too, then print text. So, okay. Here we will have just the text. If we start this line, the first one, we have the text here. In params, we have twice equals to true. Then we should go to which line? This or this or this?
Probably a leaf.
The second line.
A leaf. The second one.
Twice.
Yes. We have twice. We have twice equals to true. So this will be the true. So we will print text asterisk 2. So what does it mean?
Text.
Twice.
Yes.
Out.
Yes.
Space.
So if I'll start this line of code, we will have text and text. If we'll have this one,
Then
we will
The first one.
first one empty. Okay. And if we'll start the last one,
The first one?
Yes, that's correct. So, okay. So in these two cases, we will have just the empty strings. Is it clear for everybody why in the second?
Why empty string in the last case?
Okay, we have the if params has two pairs of key and value, so and twice and quiet, but here we test first for a quiet, and the quiet will be true, so that's why we even doesn't, we will
So
not
we
look.
have quiet,
Yeah.
and that's like the end.
Yes,
Okay.
that's true.
And can you please remind us about the get method?
So the get method is when you have just the dictionary. For example, you have the key and you have the value associated with this key. How can you get the value? You can just pass the key, not the K, but key, and get the value. Is it correct? Correct. But if you do not have a key, then what will be produced?
Error?
Yes.
Error.
Yes. Yes. But if you don't like to do the try and accept and so on, so you can take the get method, pass the key 1. It's just the same as the square brackets, but without error. And if it will not found the value, it will return nothing. So if you would like, you may set the default value. For example, I don't know, maybe true. It's the default value. So you will get the true.
So we will get the true if the program will not find the key 1?
Yes. And if the key 1 will be actually the true. In this case, we also will have the true.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's go next. This one we have started already, and we can do it all together. So just the argument with 1 asterisk and argument with 2 asterisk. We can put it all together. So what we will have? We will have A, B, and C. And if we'll start this line of code, so we will call the function test. We will pass A, B, C, and D, and something equals to true. So what will be in A?
A.
A. What will be in C?
Something true.
Yes. So the million questions. What will be in B?
Tricky one.
Hmm. Come on.
Maybe B, C, and D.
Yes. It will be the B, C, and D. So all the rest will be packed into the B. So it's not the least, but you can work it with the least if you like. So it's like the same. So we can like this. So if you like, it's rather the same idea. So right now, I hope that you understand how to pass an argument to the function. So you have an opportunity to pass one argument or two or three or something like this. Then you can pass multiple arguments, and you cannot know the actual amount of them. It will be with one asterisk, and you can pass the named options. So like something equals to true, and you will get the dictionary inside the function, and you can work with this data. Okay, so this is all about the passing of arguments. Okay, so right now we will speak about the scope and variables and so on. So if you remember, we have here the variables n and s. And right now, if I start this cell, it should produce the output of the variable s and n. The idea is everything that was created inside a function will die with this function. So that's why actually we do not have s and n variables. So you should create this once again. But if you start the function, the variable s will be created, calculated, and when the function ends, you cannot get the s variable. So go next. Right here, we can access the variables from the global scope from a function. It means that if you have some variable n equals to 1, you can create the function and you can access to variable n. Variable n is defined outside of the function. And first of all, this n will be looked through the function, through the arguments, and if the n variable will not be found, then it will be taken from the main code of this program. And if we will not have the n, this n, in a global scope, then it will fail. So if we will start this function, what we will see right now?
1.
Yes. Yes. We will see 1. So we start the function, we try to look the n variable, and we can take it from here. Okay. You can mix this success. So you can take it, this value, by passing to a variable, and you can take also this variable from outside. So it's okay. So if I'll start this function, what I will see?
1 and 1.
Exactly. So 1 and 1. So the first one we have taken from the function call, and the second one from the global scope. Okay. So right here, can you guess what will be after I will print this and after the execution of the function?
1.
First one is 2, maybe.
Why 2?
No, 2, because in the function we don't have a print, so we will
Okay.
just
Yes. So as I mentioned before, everything that was created inside a function will die after a function, even if we initially take this variable from the global scope. So n equals to 1, then inside the function n equals to 2, but after the function's end, the n will be 1. So please be careful with these variables inside of functions.
So in this case, this function is useless. Like
in this case, yes, it doesn't affect to anything. But you may do the print call here. So if I'll start this one, what will I get?
2,
0
1.
and 1.
2, and at the next line will be the 1. But the n variable will die here in this function. Okay. If you would like to do something useful, then you can return the value. So the function can return the value. So anything you would like to return to outside world, you can pass here with the return statement. So here, this n and this n will be the same. So you start the function. Here n equals to 2. This 2 will be returned outside, and here will be 2, and n will be equals to 2, and the print will be 2. So it's not so useless, it will be useful. So this, how can we create the variables? How can we access the values from outside, from the global scope? How can we pass them as a reference? And how can we return these values? If we would like, just the last question, if we would like to return not one value, but 3 values, how can we write this here in return statement?
with a comma?
Yes.
Yep, and it will be returned as Kartesh. Don't know how it's in English.
No. Not. It will be. You must place here the also variables to unpack. So here will not. You will not create the set. It's not the set. It's just 3 variables, and here should be also 3 variables. So,
But in the Coursera was said that if we have like one variable and we start the function, then this variable will be a tuple with this free variable that we wrote in the return.
we can try. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. But for the real world, it's really more. So I prefer this form. If you return 3 values, then you should get 3 values. Okay. If I would like to set to return the set, okay, I will return the set. So I will return the set. So, okay. But for me personally, it's my personal attitude that you should pass the, if you return 3 values, then please unpack it to 3 values. Okay, so for now, that's it. I think that I can get you 20 minutes, and then we will discuss the tasks that we have for this week. So please look through the tasks of this week, and after 20 minutes we will discuss them together. So feel free.
Excuse me, can we somehow define the conditions for the input in the function?
For which task?
Just for these functions. If we need to write a function which for the input it needs something particular. So can we somehow define this thing?
You may use any language as you want, or any number, any name of the function as you want. If it is said that, for example, the task number 1, you get the value, so you get only one value. It may be A, B, or C, or D, or anything you want.
No, I mean, for example, in the task number 2, we need that it is required that the input of the function is a list.
Is list.
Yeah,
So you also get one list. So it may be L or Li or A or B or anything you want.
But inside the function, we should write that it is a list.
No, you should just know that this is a list.
And if someone else is using my function, how?
Right here, you have an opportunity to think that it will be a list.
Okay.
For this task. For when you will create your own functions at work, you also will know what particular values you will send there. And if you know that you may get not only the list but dict or something like this, you can take the function type and get the what you exactly have. Is it so number or list or something like this?
So I just create this function in a way that I know myself that I will use it only to lists.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so let's discuss, colleagues. Who would like to help me with the first task?
I can start.
Okay, you're welcome.
So should I share my screen or just to say what I think?
No, you may say, and we will try to.
Okay, then of course for the start we have def is
Def.
3.
And def is 3. Okay.
Then
Semicolon.
I didn't write the variable here and the function worked just without it, but you can write n.
Okay.
Then enter, then n is equal to input, and in the brackets
No. No input inside the function, inside this function. You will start this function with is 3 and then, for example, 9. You should
okay,
work
then,
with this n.
Then we just write n equals to int n just to check that it's a whole number.
So what we should do?
Ну, просто мы же не можем быть уверены, что написали цифру, а не переменную, которая как бы содержит цифру в строчке.
Конкретно здесь мы говорим, что эта функция работает только с натуральными числами. Вот только с натуральными числами. То есть мы гарантируем себе, что на вход будет только натуральное число.
Окей, все так просто. Then we just write if and the percentage sign 3 to equal sign 0 двоеточие enter and n equals to n divided by 3.
N equals to n divided by 3.
And then we have return, but with one tabulation step. No, with two tabulation steps.
Okay.
So n and then answer else with one tabulation step. Return the string is not a multiple of 3.
Okay. So is there any questions with this? So if we'll start, then we will get the 3.0. Anybody else? Do you have other ideas or maybe comments or?
We need to make this, well, the result as an integer.
Yes, that's true. It stated here, maybe it is not so clear, but we should pass it like just integer. That's okay, but we should.
I thought that like the result of the dividing should be integer. Sorry.
Okay, that's not the idea, but just to be clear that you will pass our tests. So okay, so with the first one, it should work, and it's okay. So it works. For the second task, okay, we have the function. It called average. So the def average, and we will get the least for an input. Who can help me with this function?
Maybe I can try. Or someone else.
So be my guest, anybody.
Well, okay. So I firstly wrote a variable s equals to 0. And then for I in range len L.
In range len L.
S equal plus 1.
Equal plus 1.
Oh, no, 1 I.
Okay.
So this is like a sum of
Okay.
then without, so mean, variable mean equals to, well, S divided by len L. And then I also added variable A equals to 0. And for I in L, if I is more than mean, then we should add 1 to A.
Okay.
And we should return A, but I'm not sure that it works.
Why? That's okay. I
Well,
can.
it doesn't work, or maybe I just typed the wrong list.
Let me start this. So 1, 2, and 4. If I greater than mean, and what will be the mean?
2.
Yes. It's not working.
So there's a mistake somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. Definitely.
But overall idea is okay or not?
So anybody can see the problem? The idea is good.
I have a different version of the code. It is shorter and seems like it works.
Okay. Let's see.
So we define average. Звездочка L. Yes.
Нет, здесь в принципе не нужен, то есть здесь L, ну, по коду все то же самое. Давайте.
So then I have for I in L. If I is bigger than sum of L divided by the len of L, then return I.
A return. This is for I.
I should return like in the list of
No, not the least, but the count of.
count.
So I do not agree with your.
We can add in this code like a couple of parameters and it will work. Like after the def, we can add the variable like a equals to 0, and then after if we can add a plus equals 1 and return a in the end.
This true should be. That's okay. And if we have 3 and this one, yeah, should work. So here is the personally me, I don't like the idea to calculate the sum of L and len of L each time in a loop. If you create the variable mean, right here it's okay, but if you will have the length of L big enough, you will have the problems with the calculation of this expression. Now, because each time you will need to look through all the list and calculate all the items. So this thing should be here, calculated here. Okay, so but all the rest idea is good.
Actually, I modified a little bit my code, this previous one, which is not
Okay.
using Artur's
Okay.
idea. So we can delete from S to 3 strings from S. So S equals 0, we can delete this 4 and S. Yeah. And instead of S, we just write some L. And yeah, I think it should work.
It should work. It should work. The average, it's okay. This print the main, so it worked. Yeah, it worked, but it's not fair. You do not fix this problem.
But I don't understand why this mean is counted wrong.
Like the 1 and 2, like the 1 here. So this is the idea that you do not. So you try to avoid the problem rather than solve it. So this is not a good in terms of understanding what's going on.
So here I is an index, but not.
Yes.
So we should.
Here is I is not.
L of the
yes.
Index. Yeah,
whether we should here place the L from I. So and right here we will get the same.
So it works now.
Yes, it works now. Or we should delete all this stuff and use just the E.
Okay.
Okay. So the shortest version, if you like, we can use the function map. Does anybody remember the function map?
With lambda.
It's true. So the mean value calculated the same. So here this true, it's nothing to add here. But right here we can calculate in one line. It's not so easy, but I think it's a rather interesting idea to practice the function map.
So we should create some variable.
Yes.
Or in return from the beginning.
So you can explain the idea. If you know the idea, it's the half of the victory. So what we will do with the function map? So
we would check the condition on every part of this list.
Yes, and what we will do if the condition is true?
Maybe we can use this counter thing, like счетчик again.
It's not the counter. If you use the function map, then you apply a function to each element. So you will apply this to 1, then 2 and 1.1 and then to 3. And you will get the list also with the dimensions of the initial list. Function map cannot create any counters or something like this. It can only modify the initial variable, but not the variable, but the element of a list. Okay, then I will create this thing because we do not have a lot of time. So we can apply the function map to the list L to get what? We can create the list of zeros and ones if this true or not true. So how can we do this? We can lambda x, then 1 if x greater than mean, else it's 0. So if it x greater, so the element is greater than mean, then this element will be 1. If not, then 0. So after that, we can create the list out of the function map. And after that, we can just to use the function sum to get the number of this list the number of values which applied to this condition. So we can return this value, and it should be the same. Lambda x, lambda x. Yes, that's okay. So it's rather the same. So you like we can do this and this. So do you understand what's going on here?
But without this sum, it would be just a list of zeros and ones.
Yes. It will be this.
Okay.
And when you sum, you just make this calculation like you do here. Here you do not create the list, but here you create the list, and after that you just bind it somehow. So it's up to you how to use this functions to do all the same. So right here, the idea is that you have the functions that help you to solve your tasks, and here you must create once again for e, if, for e, and so on. But the if we have also here, so it's not fair with this if, but this for and this calculation. So this calculation is the same as function sum, and this for is the same that the map with the lambda. So it's rather the same. So that's why you can just put it into one line, and maybe it will help you to do something. Okay, so I hope that you understand everything here. If not, then you can see the record and play with your Anaconda. And right now we would like to know your opinion. I place into a chat a link to avoid to the voting. We discussed the opportunity to transfer from MS Teams to Discord. So we would like to know your opinion, whether we should think into this or we should skip this idea right here. So please go to a chat, use the link, and please let us know how we should go next. So should we think about Discord or not?
Can we record the seminars in Discord?
Can we record? This is one of our big problems. We think that we can, but with the external software. So it's one of the difficulties of the Discord. They do not have the records out of the box. So we will think about it. Also, if we will not have the recordings at all, then we will not switch to Teams. If we can create the idea how to record, then we will think about the Discord. But so we have a lot of questions about the authorization or something like this. But we hope that it may helps. The Discord may helps, but it may apply a lot of chaos into our lives. So that's why we would like to ask you.
What other classes maybe do you have now? Like of using
other what?
Like advantages of using Discord, but not the Teams.
What about Discord, not the Teams? The Discord is more, so you can go through the some kind of the voice chats. You can arrange into groups. So right now I do not know how do you think about the solutions of the seminar work, and that's why so the Discord allows us to like it was at the original seminar, when we can come to you when you sit in a group of 2 or 3 and sharing the screen, and we can also join to you, and it is more efficient in Discord than in Teams. So you cannot create small groups here and effectively to change the group. It's not so easy here. So that's why we think about the Discord.
Okay, but just you to know, if I'm not mistaken, like there is an opportunity. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not put this with Zoom, then I've been in the situation when we were divided in small groups. Just you to know.
Where, in Teams?
Yeah.
In Teams you actually can create like переговорные комнаты, and the professor can move from one group to another, like in Zoom. We had this. today.
We try, and it's not so easy to work. We try to do this, and it's not so easy. And so in Discord you can just to click one button and that's all. And here you should join, and you should not left the person inside this group, and after that the person do not know how to quit this group, and so on and so on and so on. So in this thing, the UI from Discord much more better. But there are a lot of problems there with authorization, the names, with records, and personally me, I do not know should we switch or not. So right now I'm in some kind of the crossing point, and I would like to know your opinion.
But in Discord, the students would be able to go in different groups, or you just will randomly create some groups and we will stay there?
No. You just we create some random groups. I mean that you have the chat room number 1, chat room number 2, and that's all. And you with your colleagues say, let's go to the chat room number 1, and that's why you join to this session. And one of you shares the screen, and you in this voice chat, just like at the computer, you can say place the cursor here and print this one, and you can just work with it. And we also can easily join to your voice chat and to your screen share and look what's the problem there. And you also can temporarily go from this voice chat, not ending this voice chat, to other page, and let us know that you need some assistance. So
Okay.
So
but will someone provide us with with help if someone doesn't know how this all works?
Yes, this is the other problem. So a lot of good things and a lot of bad things in changing the Discord to Discord. So okay, we have 10 minutes over through the class, so I think that we can stop here and so thank you very much, and see you next week. And after the next week, we will provide you an home task for the next 2 weeks. So please get ready. I hope that you will enjoy our home task.
Thank you. Bye.
So bye.
Is it big home task?
Hmm?
Is it big home task for all the weeks, like the themes of all of the weeks?
It's from all our weeks, and all the tasks usually covers a couple of topics. So right now I do not know, because we split this between 6 persons and tasks created right now. But
So 6 variants of
no, 6 tasks. And in each task we have a different variance. So that's why
it differs just in numbers, right?
What?
То есть, ну, разница в заданиях только в цифрах, нет?